This is Dr. Ed, the Focus Coach, and today I want to talk to parents of high school or college students, Gen Z, ages 15 to 24. And also, maybe you are a Gen Z student and you want to understand what you need to do to be successful in life. Now, this is information based on research, based on AI, LinkedIn, and I've combined this information to help you as a parent or as a student get focused so that you can be successful in the real world. One of the most important things right now is you have to be prepared for the real world. And let's face the facts, school systems and colleges are not preparing you what employers are demanding, specifically be successful in the workplace. So what I'm going to do is on this course today, on this specific program, I want to take you through what we want to do to show you how you can get focused on your future. And our mission and our cause is number one is to train and change generations beyond you, your children, your grandchildren, be able to help you understand that the generations need to be prepared for the real world because 93% of parents say the school system's not doing that. Our second point of our cause is to educate, equip, and empower these students and individuals to be successful in life and providing them with the tools they need for success. And finally, we want to help you focus on your calling. You have a calling in life. You have a purpose, you have a destiny. We want you to help you fulfill that because that's when true personal fulfillment comes in. When you're doing what you're called to do, when you match that career choice up with your personality, there's a hand in the glove fit, more creativity and stress. And when you're able to identify those things that make you fill you up and not drain you, you're going to be very successful in your future. And that's what we want to talk about today, the opportunity to do that. So let's talk about the top 10 needs for Gen Z. This is what has basically been spoken through AI, through ChatGPT, through LinkedIn. Number one, they feel this generation needs to have virtues and values to be able to be in the workplace, be successful. When I worked for the Coca-Cola Company for 27 years, 10 years prior to that with Unilever, these major Fortune 100 companies, I had to sign a code of conduct. I had to act a certain way with virtues and values that the company aligned itself with. If you're going to be part of a certain company, small company, large company, maybe be an entrepreneur, you want to have true virtues and values in place so that your people are not going to go and be out of order and you're going to have strife in the organization. Number two, career readiness, being ready for the workplace, having that ideal career that you can focus on that really matches your personality style. The purpose and direction for your life. We have a course I'm going to show you in a few seconds here called Finding Life's Direction. And what I'm talking about is the courses that we have put together in programs, they mirror up and provide solutions to these top 10 needs. Number four, soft skills. Oh my, LinkedIn's been saying this for 20 years. The young people coming out of high school and college lack the essential soft skills that employers demanding. We're going to go through the top 10. I created the top 10 essential soft skills that you or your children, your grandchildren need to have to be successful. Critical thinking skills, decision making, problem solving. These are important right now. Time management. I put together opportunities for you to be able to, on a personalized basis, to help you and your child get focused on these critical skills. How about focus and attention span? The average attention span is about 7 seconds right now. Most young people spend between 6.5 to 7 hours on their phone a day. We've got to help them understand to reduce these distractions and look at an opportunity to find opportunities to eliminate or at least reduce these distractions, but also to be able to be focused in their life. Work ethic and professionalism. Oh man, this is a big one right now because a lot of people don't have that work ethic. I'm an older generation. I grew up in that. Next generation is coming up, wants a work-life balance, and that's good to have, but you got to make sure you're doing things with professionalism and have a strong work ethic. That's why we're seeing right now a recent statistic that I saw was that a Gen Z right now that's going in the workplace, the average individual spends about 8 months with a company and they're being let go. They're being terminated because of lack of professionalism and the work ethic. Then there's the mental health issue right now and coping with different strategies that are going on out there. We're talking about depression, and we see right now that COVID had a lot of situation with anxiety and stress. We want to deal with some of that. Financial literacy is another one. How do I be able to do a budget and certain things like that as I go into the workplace? And then finally, life skills. We have a complete progressive process for success. I'm going to take you through this. If we're going to prepare you for the real world, And I spent a lot of time and a lot of prayer in this. I'm a man of faith, and I really believe that the Lord has given me something that's a solution for the issues right now. If you're a parent, you might be up at night, or you think your child has the right career choice. I talk to multiple parents who think their child has a career choice they want to have. They go into schools, and statistically, we're seeing 50% of young people who graduate college are not even working in the discipline that they graduated from. You spend $150,000, and they're not even working what they went to school for. 40% drop out in the first 2 years. About 60% go. Think about that. 40% drop out. Only 13% go back. So we're seeing that young people right now are going back into the workplace, and blue collar jobs, plumbing, electrician, these things are opportunities right now for young people, especially if they have a kinesthetic type of mindset, like to work with their hands. This is a big opportunity for success. We want to help you identify your child's personal gifting. Maybe you're a young person. This help you create a vision statement. Without vision, people perish. You need to have a vision. This keeps you focused and targeted on your future. We need to identify your passions and help you discover your purpose. Purpose is why right now you exist on the earth. Vision is where you're going in life. We want to help you get that career path. We'll talk about that in a second, how to be able to set these personal goals for your life. We're going to give you the professional skills that LinkedIn's been talking about on a personalized basis. We're going to give you leadership skills and be equipped in the virtues and increase the motivation you need to have to be successful, gain confidence, and achieve personal fulfillment. This is why I created the Focus Life Institute, to be able to help do that, because I want to help prepare your child for the real world. And right now, we're not seeing that happening right now based on recent statistics of what's going on specifically in the educational system. So these are the courses that I created to help attack these top 10 specific aspects of what they said your child, or maybe you need to have specifically with Gen Z. Number one, virtues and values. Very critical. As I mentioned before, there are codes of conduct that people have right now. I created this concept called the heroes principle. I love it. It talks about H for honor in an age of dishonor. E for excellent in an age of average. I have a nephew of mine, and a few years ago, he's working for a company that's a gas station food opportunity, and he was working inside. And I said, Caleb, what are you doing? He said, I only do what they tell me to do, Uncle Ed. I said, well, you're not going to go very far. You got to do everything you do with excellence, because most people are average. We know that R stands for responsibility right now, in an age right now of entitlement. O stands for order in an age of independence. People just want to do their own thing. They don't want to submit to authority. And you have to do that when you get in a workplace. There are people above you. Think about this. If you don't submit to that authority, when you get moved up and promoted into authority, you're going to reap what you sowed. You're going to have people that are going to be disloyal to you. And then we think of expectation. My boss used to tell me, Ed, we're having a meeting this week. I need you to come in here and get the teams jacked up, because we're not making a number, but I don't need pessimistic people coming in. I need optimistic. So come in with a spirit of expectation. When you go to work or school every morning, how do you walk in the building? And finally, servanthood. When I worked for Coca-Cola, my boss gave me legal right to pray for people, come in the organization. I was a counselor for people. You know why? I served my way up. I served my leadership. And I tell you what, I got great aspects of influence. And this what this course does on the Heroes Principle. And we have subscription programs. You can purchase all of these at once at a real low cost. But this is an opportunity for you to see favor and for you to see increase in your life, and brings advancement. This is how I teach people to advance within an organization. When you start doing things with honor, people are going to notice. You do things with excellence. You don't cut the corners. You take personal responsibility if you messed up. If you're in order, submitted to your boss. If you walk in a situation where you're walking an expectation and you have servant attitude, I'm telling you what, you're going to see yourself move to advancement. This is how to develop the virtues and values based on what chat and also LinkedIn has been saying that right now this generation needs to have. Second of all is the course we have called Focus on Life's Direction. I want to deal with this because right now we see the statistics. I mentioned them to you. There's a lot of people right now that go into college that maybe shouldn't go to college. There's ones that go in there and you spend a lot of money, you get in debt, and you're not even working what you went to school for. So what we've put together is a course called Focus on Life's Direction. It helps you write a vision statement for your life. It then looks to identify your passion areas. What are you passionate about? I have some people here at the end of this presentation that have gone through our course. My nephew wanted to be a worship pastor. He wanted to be a pastor and lead worship, and that's what he's up doing. He has another job on the side, but that's what he's doing. He loves the passion. My son-in-law is a senior engineer. They love what he's doing right now. The people have gone through our course. What we do is we find that right placement for them. We identify their sphere of influence. Should they go to business, government, education, media, family, whatever it might be? And then we take their personality style. I've been certified in the DISC, DISC. It's been around for many years. I've been doing this for over 30 years. I was a trainer with the Coca-Cola Company, traveled the country training people on this DISC to help them understand self and the motivations of others. And once you understand the motivations of others, it's a very powerful tool. I taught my children and my grandchildren this at an early age. So they know how to ABC, adapt, blend, and connect their personality styles with others. Do they need to speed up? Do they need to slow down when they come into a situation? Very powerful. And this really can help you and your child, if you're a young person, help you get in sync with other people and see great levels of success. Then what we do is we match up your personality style. See, this is a personalized program. All our courses are. We match up your personality style, your DISC behavioral style. We match it up with jobs in the 16 career clusters. We take you to Own It Online to help you understand what the skills are needed for this specific aspect of this. Now, think about this. Most school systems, when I talk to them about what are you doing to educate your students, because the average guidance counselor spends about 30 minutes in 4 years with your child, or maybe you're a young person. Can you go back and even remember how many hours he spent with you? Very minimal. They're dealing with social and emotional issues right now. Most of these career directors, some of them have 300 to 400 people. So I'm not putting it back on them. This is a tool to help you understand to get your child focused. And so what we do is we match that personality style up and we help them understand the 16 career clusters. So when they go into a career fair, they have 3 clusters that they decide on, with some jobs in there, and they'll go specifically to those booths. It's going to save time and money. It's going to save you time and money based on spending the future opportunity, maybe go to college or going to trade school. And then we talk about not only profession, but peak performance. We help your child set goals. Only 3% of people set goals. We help them set educational, career, and personal goals. Powerful tool. I love this focus on life's direction. It can really get people focused and targeted on what they want to do. And we're seeing right now, that's a real struggle finding purpose and direction for your life. Now, skills for success. This is where we get down to nitty gritty when it comes down to LinkedIn and what they're saying right now that the young people don't have the skills they need to have, specifically the essential skills, the employable soft skills. Now, what I did was I took the DISC personality system and I went back and I went through all these career clusters and I identified 10 specific essential soft skills that your child, maybe you need to have as a young person. And these top 10 essential soft skills basically are what employers are demanding right now. And I did this on the personalized basis. So if you are a certain personality style, I'm going to train you, equip you how to adapt, blend, and connect with different styles in the following different skills: people skills. Number 2, communication. The number 1 skill is communication. Warren Buffett, many of you know him, just said the other day, the number 1 skill that young people need to have is communication. Many times you're just on your phone, you're basically doing, maybe you're texting somebody. That's not true communication. We got to learn the art of communication. Then we take a collaboration. How do I get along with different team members? One of the biggest problems is when people come together under a common goal, guess what? All of a sudden, we have a little bit of a disagreement. So we've got to know how to adapt, blend, and connect and deal with people. If somebody's very detailed, I've got to put more detail into it. If somebody wants the bottom line, I don't want to give them 20 pages. I want to give them 1 page over a recap and then be able to help them with the details later. Not only communication, collaboration, but conflict resolution. How do you reduce conflict in an organization? I deal with confidence. I deal with creativity and character. These are some other skills that are very important. You got to know how confident you are in what you do. You got to know your creativity based on your personality style and be able to use that creativity and adaptability within the workplace. And then I look at those critical thinking skills: decision making, problem solving, time management. These are very important. And I base these information based on your personality style. And then I threw a bonus in here also. I threw a bonus in of the behavioral interview. As a Fortune 100 manager for all these years, I managed a $75 million territory, had multiple people working for me. I constantly hired and fired different people. And I'll tell you what, The key was how to interview. Well, we use the STAR technique: situation, task, action, results. And we're going to equip you so that you can secure your desired job. Parents, think about this. One of the biggest things that the Pew Foundation came out with are three concerns you have. Number one, you have concerns about mental health with your child, anxiety, depression. The second thing we talked about was job satisfaction. This right here, based on finding life's direction and the skills, is going to provide that job satisfaction. And then the financial security is what you want your child to have. And guess what? That comes along when you have the right skills, because now you go into advancement within an organization. You operate in the heroes principle, and you'll see greater levels of success. So that progression that we have right now to get your child focused is to find out specifically, get the heroes principle in them with the virtues they need, go to find life's direction, and go to skills for success. And then I talk about entrepreneurship. Now, I would say most entrepreneurs are about 30 years old. Some young people can be influencers, but I'm talking about the majority of people are a little bit older. They might have worked for an organization to find out what to do, what's right, what's wrong. This course is dealing with basic entrepreneurship, the characteristics of what it's going to take to be a successful entrepreneur. Now, I worked 37 years in Fortune 100. I can tell you this: when I became an entrepreneur in my own company, I'll tell you what, I'm working more hours now, and I was on the road three days a week when I worked for Coca-Cola, managing 6 different markets. As an entrepreneur, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, and it also takes a lot of finances to be able to do this. So you got to make sure you're on the right program there. Maybe some people are great influencers on social media. That's awesome. That's a great opportunity. We're going to talk about the behavioral style and traits of entrepreneurs, the basic components right now of a business plan. How do you create that business plan? I love this Insights for Success. Innovation, concepts, execution, solutions. I deal with that within this course, and then help them create that vision for this business so that you can be successful in it. We also talk about what's going on right now with distractions in the world right now. I created a course called Focus Lifestyle. One of my first courses, I have a book that goes along with this, 40 Days of Focus. We talk about the power of focus. We talk about how to overcome these distractions, how to overcome some of these things and identify the distractions and overcome them, specifically reducing some time on the phone. I was in a place one time the other day, and I was talking to a young lady, and says, she was on her phone. It says, how many hours you spend on the phone? Well, about 6.5, 7. I says, go to your battery on your phone, tap battery, and find out what apps you're looking at. The majority of that was YouTube or Reels that she was looking at. And I asked her, are you going on to YouTube to get some information or be trained and equipped on something? No, I'm just enjoying the Reels. I said, what's that return on that investment? You're putting in 5-6 hours a day when you could basically be going maybe on YouTube or sticking some of our courses and be at a university and get the skills you need for success, right? We identify, again, those distractions. I teach about getting into the focused environment. You got to get in a place where you shut all this down and you get in a quiet place and you begin to listen and create certain things. Now, as a man of faith, I want to hear the voice of God, right? I want to hear what he's telling me to do. He's always talking, but I got to give him place to get in that focused environment. I talk about focused effort. You only have so much amount of effort to put out there. We want to help you understand how important it is to make sure your effort is targeted and focused specifically on the things you want to accomplish. That's why when we talk about setting those goals and defining life's direction, education, personal goals, and career goals, how do we stay focused on that and targeted? We talk about focused energy. You only have enough energy. And you know what? You got to find those things in your life that fill you up. There will be a lot of things in life that drain you. And I've learned in my career, I've got to find those things that fill me up and be able to spend my time in those things also. I know there's some times, when I worked for Coca-Cola, I managed 6 different markets. I managed about $75 million territory. I had about $15 million in funds that we created our programs with. And every month I had to go into each market and sit down with every one of my key account managers, with my administrator. I don't mind administration. I'm pretty good at it, but I tell you what, I'm a people person. I don't want to stuck behind a desk there, right? I want to be able to understand my energy can only be focused on one thing. And then focused execution. I use the OGSM method: objectives, goals, strategies, measures, to help you get focused, develop this strategy and this plan to have a lifestyle of success as you move into your future. These are some of the students that have gone through our course. We have a lot of students. You can go on our website at focuslifeinstitute.com and see a lot of individuals there and parents who've taken the course. Victoria is a great example. She went in basically to be a judge, and now she's an associate attorney. She didn't know what she was going to do when she changed her major at least one time before we got to her, and she's able to do that opportunity, be able to now she's being successful, is getting ready to get married. Over the course of her time, she has done very well taking our courses. And she says one of the biggest things she found out when she was taking our course is that how to communicate with other people. Because she's a very dominant young lady. She's very aggressive, very happy, but she's dominant, okay? And she is going to state her mind, and maybe as an attorney, that's a good thing. But I'll tell you what, she learned how she needed to adapt, blend, and connect with different personality styles. Cameron, this young man, he is a professional dancer. He has many troops. He tours the country at times, plus also has troops. He loves to be able to teach on that. He's like, to me, Michael Jackson, the way he could dance. But I'll tell you what he's done is that yeah, he was able to talk about how to build a business plan and become an entrepreneur based on the courses we taught. Brooke Ellen, this young lady, she changed her major twice, and I got to her right after she did that. And her mother is one of the young women that talk about her child. I got with her and I said, "What do you really want to do?" Because she thought she was going to go in business, whatever. We found out that she really loved education, and we took her to the place that now she's an academic mentor for a local university, brings young people in, gets them equipped, gets them trained on what they need to do, and just a powerful tool what she's doing. Caleb is my nephew. I use him because he was a young man that I struggled with in the beginning trying to identify what did he want to do. I took him through the course. He put some things out there on his personality, but this passion to just lead worship and play his guitar as a worship pastor was just overwhelming. I said, that's okay. I understand a lot of times a worship pastor might not get paid. It might be a volunteer job, might be a minimal amount of money. What are you going to do? Well, he married a young woman here about a year ago who was a professor at a university. But now he has a job on the side. He's working with his hands. He's very kinesthetic. But now he's at the place right now where he loves what he's doing, and he's fulfilling his life's calling based on his passion. So these are the young people and the people we talk to help them understand how important it is right now to be successful. It's critical right now that we understand that this is a situation today where in the educational system, they're really putting people through that opportunity, but they're not really giving them the targeted aspects of who they are, what they have, and how to apply it. We are here at the Focus Life Institute to help you increase that, help you understand the tools you need to have. So when I went back and I looked at the top 10 skills and the top 10 things that were needed for Gen Z, I began to look at what I have put together over the course of many years here and said, I meet all these needs. I have provided solutions. So if you were a parent and you're upset, you're worried at night, or maybe your parent says, oh, my child got it together. There's many times when I'll be in the grocery store and I say, hey, how's your daughter or son doing? Oh, they changed their major 3 times. I thought they were going to do this, right? Now, there's about 30% of young people who know what they want to do, but 70%, and your child might be one of them. So why don't you just make sure when you go through our course to be identify what you want to have. We have a really inexpensive subscription program that has all our courses there. I also do some courses on family building. I love the family. I want to help the family get activated in their gift cluster. I also have courses there on that, but we have a variety of courses to help you and your child be successful in life. And to me, that's what drives me. That's my passion. I hope you understand my passion is for this generation. I want to see this generation fulfill their purpose, their destiny. Each of your child, my children, my grandchildren that I'm working with now, they have an assignment in their life. And I know what fulfills me and fulfills my daughter, my son-in-law, my family, my wife and I is when our children and grandchildren fulfill the purpose and plan upon their life. That's a powerful thing. It gives me great joy. And so you can see all our programs. You want to email us, it's contact@focuslifeinstitute.com. Our website at focuslifeinstitute.com will provide all the tools you need for success. Remember, our vision, our purpose of why we're doing this. I retired from the Fortune 100. I could have just went out to the pasture and get out there and play golf and do all these certain things. Nothing wrong with that. I'd rather take my experience and what I believe the Lord's given me to help you and your child get focused in life and be able to see them be prepared for the real world. So you don't have to worry about job satisfaction, financial situations. There's no stress because all of a sudden they have a hand-to-glove fit with that job. There's more creativity when you find that hand-to-glove fit based on that personality style. And all of a sudden there's less stress. And all of a sudden then guess what? You have a happy family and your children are successful in life. I hope this webinar has been successful for you. Check out, again, all our courses on FocusLifeInstitute.com. I really believe this is an opportunity to get your child focused, get prepared for the real world, and see greater levels of success. Remember this, your focus, it does determine your future.